Alright, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do that good stuff. And let's get straight into today's video because we just had an update. And whenever we have an update, there's a new character that releases. So let's go check out the new character. And let's go over their skills and abilities and my thoughts on the character themselves. So we go to the Not Owned tab. And the newest character that will be released for this month will be LUFFYTARO. So string type character. 22,000 crew rating. His affinities will be Kazuki Hiyori, Kazuki Odin. Obviously, two of the best characters in the game, one of the best combos. So, if you don't have these two characters, you should probably grab those two characters. The next one is Kaido Dragonform and Marco the Phoenix. Now, some people may not have Marco the Phoenix. You should have Kaido Dragonform because he's for Nika Luffy's team, best team in the game. But a lot of people might not have Marco the Phoenix. However, he did just come around recently on a limited time pool event, so a lot of people should have him. Then the last one is Yamato Monkey King Luffy. That should be very easy for a lot of people. I really hate how they've done this, where they've just jammed it on the right hand side rather than having it spread out. It's so annoying. But anyway, Samurai Sword, obviously the same thing as always. Then White Jade Ring, so very easy to upgrade the character there. His Fighting Spirit, Landside Fighting Spirit. Upon the beginning of the battle, increases initial rage by 115 points. When there is a crew killed on either side, restores points by 44. Restores rage by 44 points. That's actually pretty good for this character, as you'll see with his whole kit and everything, so that's not bad. It's not like horrible. It's not a horrible fighting spirit by all means. It's actually pretty good for this character. So let's go into his passive ability, Gear 4. Haki State. After entering the battle, he gains 10% defense ignoring effect. So ignores 10% defense. He ignores 10% resistance, crit resistance, and ignores 10% block rate. And he gains 10% damage reduction and 10% ultimate resistance ignoring effects. So not insane or anything, because 10% isn't that insane. But it's nice to have, by all means. And then Strength Haki at the beginning of each round increases your own control immunity rate by 10%, attack by 8%, crit rate by 10%, and he gains 10% crit damage, as well as 10% ultimate damage bonus and 10% final damage bonus. So that's at the beginning of each round. So he's going to be scaling up after every round quite significantly. So it's very interesting. Every time he is attacked, his lifesteal rate and control immunity rate are increased by 10%. And his damage reduction rate is increased by 5%. The above buffs can be stacked and last for the entire battle. So they can't actually be removed because they last for the entire battle, which is actually amazing. So for this one right here, you will be stacking up quite a lot of stats every turn, so that's absolutely amazing. Could go for a tanky build of him. That's kind of like Chopper, where he gains a bunch of stats for each friendly character for each friendly crew that's died. So it's very similar to that, except his is every turn, which could be very interesting. He does also have a lot of buffs, so you could run straight dive on him for more of a damage build, but I think a tanky build might actually be better for him, just to last as long as possible and to stack up as much as possible. We'll see when we test him out, but that's just my initial thoughts on that part of the passive. Now, each time he releases an attack, he reduces the target's defense by 10%, crit resistance rate by 10%, block rate by 10%, damage reduction by 10%, and ultimate resistance by 10%. So that's quite good. This is only for one character, as you will see with his basic ability and his ultimate. I would have loved if he had AoE skills for this. But the next part is tough. For every 1% of his own HP lost, he can permanently gain 1% attack bonus, which is huge. Permanent. When he is fatally attacked, so when he is about to die, he recovers 1% of his HP, 1000 point of rage, and increases his own ultimate by 35%, and he gains invincibility. So he's just going to ult instantly with 35% extra ultimate damage. Plus, he's actually going to gain 99% attack bonus because of this effect right here. So he's actually going to nuke with his ultimate. So he actually could be a very, very good character. Alright, now looking into his basic ability. The attack prioritizes the unit with the lowest HP. So basically the highest damage dealer will probably have the lowest HP. And deals 190% plus 28 points of damage to the unit. Haki, when releasing a skill, if he successfully kills the enemy, he will increase his lifesteal rate by 25%, crit rate by 20%, damage rate by 20%, and gain 20% crit damage bonus for 2 turns. So you typically want him to finish off characters so he gains these bonuses, even more stats to help him scale up, and then every time he releases a skill, restores 250 points of his own rage. So every time he releases this skill, he'll get 250 points of rage back for his ultimate ability, which is absolutely amazing. I would have liked if this was an AoE ability, as I said, for his passive, so you could reduce the defensive related stats of multiple people on the enemy team. That would have been much better. But going for the lowest HP isn't bad either. Let's move on to his ultimate ability, Gomu Gomu no King Kong Gun. If your turn enters the Electric Man state, releases several bazookas, dealing 435% plus 45 points of damage to the enemy with the lowest HP again. At the same time, gaining 20% attack bonus and ultimate damage bonus for 2 turns. So absolutely amazing there for the first part. When he releases the ultimate attack, if the HP of the enemy is lower than 60%, he'll get a 50% damage bonus. And if the HP of the enemy unit is lower than 40%, he'll gain a 100% damage bonus. So he's basically gonna one-shot that character. So his whole design is to one-shot the opponent's damage dealer and to scale up and stack up during the battle to become a huge menace later on. When he releases the ultimate attack, he recovers 500 points of rage, so he already gets half of his rage bar back just for ulting, which is amazing. And he can deal splash damage to the units around the main target, which is amazing. So just like Nami's basic ability, it does splash damage. At the same time, the characters in the enemy lineup are counted. For each crew member missing in the enemy lineup, the splash damage will be increased permanently by 50%. Wow. That's quite insane. So for every crew member missing in the enemy's lineup, his ultimate's just going to hit even harder with the splash damage. And he's just going to be nuking people's teams, especially with all the buffs that he has. Alright, so that's LUFFYTARO's abilities and skills. I do think he's a very decent character. Definitely better than the last 2 characters we've gotten. So Princess Shirahoshi and Marco are definitely way better than those 2. How good he is, it really depends on how much damage he does. He might need to stack up a few turns before he can do a lot of damage. I do think there'll be 2 different builds that people could go on him. Just my initial thoughts. You go a tanky build, let him stack up a little bit. Or you could just go full straight dive because he has max straight dive passive on his passive. Because he has so many buffs. So there's a number of ways that you could go about him. But we'll see how good his GP event is and if I go for him or not. So that's my initial thoughts on the character. Overall, very decent character, better than the last 2 as I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rundown of the skills and abilities and my thoughts on the character. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.